The Galactic Council chamber was a cathedral of light and arrogance. Thousands of species filled the spiraling tiers, each representing their world and their pride. The air shimmered with voices translated across 100 frequencies, yet all fell silent when the human envoy was brought forward. He stood alone in the center, bound by luminous restraints. His suit was scorched from the long journey through the core gates. Behind his calm eyes was a look not of fear but of quiet calculation. The Council had already judged humanity guilty. Their crime, resisting annexation by the Dominion fleets and striking back harder than any frontier species ever had. The High Chancellor's voice echoed through the chamber. Humanity defied galactic order. It spread chaos across the sectors. The punishment must serve as a lesson to all lesser civilizations. The envoy did not plead. He only raised his head slightly and said, "You mistake mercy for weakness. You have no idea what waits beyond your borders." The Council murmured with amusement, a species from a small blue world daring to threaten the might of the stars. The Chancellor raised a hand, and in one motion the sentence was carried out. A flash of energy struck the envoy. His body collapsed silently to the polished floor. For a heartbeat, all was quiet. Then the translator nodes began to flicker. Static crackled through every channel. The chamber's lights dimmed. Outside, ships across the orbiting fleet reported sensor blackouts. The Council dismissed it as a system error. But the darkness spreading across the upper atmosphere told another story. Earth had heard. Across the Sol network, signals that had been dormant since the old wars activated. Deep within the crust of Mars, the old defense arrays awakened. The orbital relays around Titan came online, transmitting encrypted orders toward the edges of known space. From Luna's hidden bastions, long-range beacons flashed through subspace, broadcasting one code repeated in every direction: Retribution Protocol Prime. At first, the Council fleets ignored the strange readings. Their arrogance blinded them. Then, one by one, their observation satellites went dark. The outer defense ring over their capital world lost contact with half its stations. No explosion, no debris, just silence. By the time they realized the scale of the storm, it was too late. From the edge of the star system, the void began to ripple. Space folded like fabric, and massive shadows emerged. Black ships without insignia, their hulls absorbing light rather than reflecting it. They bore no banners, no colors, no heraldry. They needed none. They were the Terran vanguard, the silent arm of a civilization that had long warned the galaxy never to provoke it. The lead vessel, larger than any known dreadnought, opened a channel. Its voice was synthetic yet heavy with emotion, the voice of a machine built to speak for humanity's wrath. Transmission to the Galactic Council. You executed an envoy of peace. You have declared war. Every listening world trembled as the stars dimmed. The human fleet did not move with chaos. It advanced with precision, an orchestrated symphony of vengeance. The Council scrambled. Dozens of species mobilized their combined armadas, confident that sheer numbers would crush this insolent species. But they had not studied human warfare. They did not understand that humanity did not fight battles, it ended them. The first engagement lasted 6 minutes. Council ships opened fire with plasma and antimatter bursts, only to watch their weapons vanish into distortions of gravity projected by human ships. Then came the return volley, thin, bright lines of light that sliced through cruisers like paper. Energy fields designed to withstand suns collapsed instantly. By the 9th minute, the Black Fleet had already broken through the defensive cordon. The Council capital's orbital stations fell, one by one, consumed by silent explosions that left no radiation trace. When the command fleets tried to retreat, the stars themselves seemed to vanish behind the encroaching veil of dark matter energy released by human war engines. Down on the surface, the Council's leaders watched helplessly as their skies turned black. The system's twin suns dimmed, eclipsed by an artificial shroud projected from orbit. What had once been a world of light was now wrapped in a shell of shadow. The High Chancellor's voice trembled for the first time. "What have we awakened?" A reply came, not through the air, but directly into every mind. It was calm, cold, and resolute. "You ended peace. Now you will learn the meaning of consequence." Columns of light descended from the fleet not to annihilate, but to disable. Humanity did not seek genocide. They sought remembrance. Every data archive, every war record, every communication array was seized in moments. The Council's vast empire, which had stood for millennia, found its knowledge stripped bare. The black ships moved like ghosts. Where resistance appeared, It vanished under pinpoint strikes that disabled rather than destroyed. Humanity wanted witnesses. They wanted the galaxy to see what happened when arrogance replaced reason. When the Council's defenses finally collapsed, a single transmission was sent across every known channel. A simple message encoded in every language of the stars. Do not mistake silence for surrender. On every world under Council control, the message played for hours. Then, just as suddenly as it began, the transmission ended. The Black Fleet vanished from sensors. Space returned to normal. The stars shone again. The Council's fleets drifted in disarray. The High Chancellor sat in silence, the chamber still echoing with the memory of the Envoy's final words. The once proud leaders now stared at their hands, realizing that their power had been an illusion maintained by fear. Humanity had shattered it in a single day. But what truly haunted them was not the destruction, but the restraint. Humanity could have erased them completely, yet chose not to. That mercy burned deeper than annihilation. It was a reminder that the humans had not come for conquest, but for justice. In the aftermath, across the galactic sectors, whispers spread. Some called humanity monsters. Others called them the old gods of war. And yet, among the border colonies, among those who had lived under the Council's rule for generations, a new kind of hope stirred. The fall of the Council meant freedom was possible. Weeks later, on the ruins of the Council capital, survivors discovered a monument standing where the Envoy had fallen. No one had seen it erected. It bore no symbols, only a single line engraved in unbreakable alloy. He came with peace. You answered with death. Now remember, from that day forward, no world dared harm another human envoy. Every negotiation table in the galaxy kept an empty chair, a silent acknowledgement of the price of arrogance. The dark fleets were never seen again. Yet from time to time, sensors across distant systems caught faint signatures, gravity ripples shaped like the shadows of ships waiting in the void. Watching, listening, ensuring the lesson was never forgotten. And somewhere beyond the stars, on the hidden bastion of humanity's homeworld, a new envoy stood ready. Not with weapons, but with a message, peace if you are wise enough to keep it. The galaxy would never again mistake Earth's silence for weakness, for when the humans returned to the stars, they did not bring conquest. They brought judgment. And every world that looked into the blackened skies that day would forever remember the warning written in the dark, the day the heavens themselves bowed before humanity's wrath.